There's nothing more cringy than a Marvel fanboy, and I want to talk to you guys about why, and I also want to make fun of some people. I'm not actually going to hate on anybody in this video, just to be clear. I'm not actually interested in spreading hate or, you know, encouraging people to go talk shit on other people. It's not what I'm here for. I'm here to point at the people that are kind of cringe and go, haha, that's a little cringe. And nothing more serious than that, so don't take this too seriously, please. Let's look at some cringy stuff together and just do some little hearty horrors. What will you say? Will you join me on this journey? I need this. The first place that I went looking for cringe is TikTok, because what's cringier than just a little bit of this stuff? Let's just jump into this first video. I'm just gonna play it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
This video has to be made by a child. I refuse to believe otherwise, because there's just so much wrong with it. But like, this is a child. America Chavez is not old enough to be in a video like this. Like, it's a little weird to me. This coming across my For You page, which it did, was a little weird for me. I was just like, FBI, open up! Let's take a look at a couple of the comments. I got the worst month, February, grrr. I understand why I think that would be the worst option, because this person is very underage, but I don't think we agree for the same reasons. You know, I don't think we're on the same page. I think you think that this is the worst month for a totally different reason than I think this is the worst month. For those who took away my Val and MJ, better sleep with one eye open. Bro, it's not that serious. Believe it or not, they're not actually getting them as their girlfriend. I'm sorry. It's not like you're getting shipped in the mail to you now because your birth month's lined up. Could you imagine everyone born in February gets America Chavez shipped to them? That'd be crazy. That would be the power that this TikToker would have, would be absolutely absurd. On to another TikTok. This is something that I've kind of noticed on TikTok that was a little bit of a trend, a little bit of a meme. People like to do this specific kind of video. Let me show it and then I'll talk about it. Now, you know, I get that we look at the way that things used to be and the way that things are now, and you're going to look at these things with a little bit of nostalgia glasses, and that's something that's going to happen regardless. This particular video and a lot of videos that follow this format tend to rub me the wrong way, especially when they're about Marvel, because like, things aren't that different, let's be honest. They're still just as goofy and campy as they were, but now we're a little more diverse, now we're a little more inclusive, and I think that that's a really good thing. A lot of the people that I see make this kind of video and this kind of argument that Marvel used to be so much better back in phase 1 versus now in phase 4 are the same kinds of people that I find agree with statements like this one that is very, very cringe. Let's be honest. And the comments of this video just absolutely have me rolling. Marvel after Stan Lee is just not Marvel anymore. Disney is the reason that this is happening. Stan Lee died. That's why Marvel looks like this. Like, you realize that you've taken just a bunch of women and then you've compared it to men. That is what this video is. And people are like, yeah, Stan Lee would be rolling over in his grave if he saw what this looked like. Like, oh my goodness. Believe it or not, Stan Lee fucking loves women. He loved them. Yeah, he was a big fucking fan of women. You know, I actually do appreciate seeing a lot of these comments being like, calling him out for skipping over Nat. I respect these commenters quite a lot. This next video is very much similar to the one we just watched in tone. It's very much like a current Marvel versus old Marvel type video. I'm just gonna play it and then we'll talk about it.
I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold.
Like, I get it. You're using funny, I'm laughing reaction gif, and then you're using intense music for the second half. And the funniest part about these videos specifically to me is that I could do the exact same thing, but in reverse, and it would look just as convincing because of the way that the format is laid out. Roll the clip.
I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold.
On to my final TikTok that I have compiled for you all here. This one is about Jane Foster in Love and Thunder. They're gonna have a great opinion about this woman being very strong and cool and wielding the hammer, and definitely not be cringe about it for sure. Let's take a look. This video is admittedly quite painless. It's actually like just a goofy edit. It's nothing that I haven't made worse of in my teenage years. I totally understand the vibe that this video is going for. I've made this exact style of video, but it's the comments that I wanted to direct the cringe to, for real, for real. First offender, you've got, I don't like the fact that Jane is in use of the hammer, not gonna lie. You have 114 replies to that, and a lot of them are just people being like, I thought it's just me, I know, hard vouch, big agree, for real, same. Like, really? You guys understand that this is pulled from a very big, very beloved comic book run where Jane Foster was Thor for a long time. Like, this right here is just peak representation, and it's something that we don't get enough of in these movies, especially not before Phase 4. And minor spoilers, my only complaint about Jane Foster Thor in Love and Thunder is that we probably won't get to see very much more of her, and that's really sad. Anyway, that's enough TikTok, but that is not where the Marvel cringe on social media ends. No, not at all. It's all over. It's on every single platform. So let's take a look at the peak of cringe chronically online gamer takes. Let's look at Reddit. Specifically, I want to talk about Spider-Man fans because I love Marvel Spider-Man for PS4 so much. It's probably my favorite game of all time. Of course, there are some people that are fans of that game that have some not so great takes. This particular meme is focused on the fact that MJ is a bad character in Marvel's Spider-Man, which is a take that I've seen quite a lot on the subreddit. I personally love the MJ character in Marvel Spider-Man. I thought about doing a big defense video essay. Maybe I'll still do that. If that's something you'd like to see, let me know in the comments. But genuinely, I love this character. Not to say that I can't agree that the MJ missions are a bit of a slog, a little bit boring on a second playthrough, because I do agree with that point. And if we come down here, there's a lot of people actually defending the MJ missions, talking about the screwball missions, which I actually appreciate. But what I really want to come down here and do is be controversial. Let's sort by controversial. You've got a deleted account. This mission is total shit. Whatever idiot in Insomniac loves to control that useless sidekick needs to be let go. Imagine being like, Mary Jane is a useless sidekick in Marvel Spider-Man when her entire arc in that game is to prove that point wrong. Like, you didn't pay attention to the story, take a reading comprehension class, and then come back and try again. MJ missions are to Spider-Man as Batmobile missions are to Arkham Knight. I don't think that's true. I think the Batmobile missions are significantly worse. You do get to admire that booty though. Let's go. Sexualizing female characters. That's the way to get it done. And of course, it wouldn't be talking about Spider-Man PS4 cringe if we didn't talk about the way that they changed the actor's face in Spider-Man Remastered and the way that they brought it back via the modding scene for the PC version of the video game. And I get it. If you're used to the old face, sure, I get it. But to not be able to let that go for like over a year is a little bit crazy, maybe, you know, like maybe it's time we just moved on. Maybe it's okay. Maybe we're allowed to do that. And if we come down in the comments, it's just people being like, I can't believe they ever changed it. The old face was so much better. This is how I feel about it. I just genuinely don't understand why people care. If you care that much about the Spider-Man PlayStation 4 face swap, maybe let me know in the comments why, because I just don't get it. And I would love to converse with you in a respectful manner about that change. Spider-Man PS4 is a narrative-driven game. You can't just change the protagonist's face and accept the same emotional experience for it and to not be the most distracting thing ever. I don't think it's that distracting. I don't know why y'all are acting so obtuse about this. Don't even remotely pretend. If Disney released a new HD collection of the Star Wars trilogy and deepfaked Mark Hamill's face with a new actor, it wouldn't royally piss you off. Let's not pretend that's the same thing. If you were to change the way that an actor's face looked in a movie, that's not the same as changing a model, you know? Like, there's technical limitations to doing that in a movie that it would not be possible to do. Obviously, that reaction would be bad because it would look bad, but in a video game, it still looks fine. Let's move on before I get totally roasted. I get it. You like your stuff. I don't want to change it. It's cool. You can have it. Go get your mod. I don't care. Play the game how you want to. I'll play the game how I want to. We're good. The last thing that I want to touch on is a little bit more about the She-Hulk controversy. I don't feel like getting too much into it because if we talk about She-Hulk, we're gonna have the wrong crowd come in the comments, and I'm not really interested in fighting off misogynists all day. But I do want to make fun of this specific tweet that the showrunner of She-Hulk made, calling out this guy. He's so confident. He's saying it's not a joke. I will suck your dick if I can get some Daredevil. It's time to pay up, brother. It's time to go. It's time to commit. You better be ready. But seriously, like, I don't understand how some Marvel fans don't understand that change and inclusivity and diversity diversity is a good thing. And if you're offended by this video, maybe do a little bit of soul searching, because, you know, that probably says more about you than it does about me. Like the video if you liked it. Make sure you subscribe, follow the channel, all that stuff. I'm making a whole bunch of stuff. We released a merch. It's in the link below. It's Ultron Unleashed theme, which if you don't know is a big superhero RPG that I run on this channel. I'm planning on increasing the amount of games that I run for that, so tune in for any of that stuff if you're interested in Marvel tabletop stuff.